Brazil is no stranger to generation-defining footballers. From Pele, Romario, Kaka, Ronaldinho and Neymar, some of the greatest players the sport has ever seen, have worn the famous yellow and blue of Brazil. Due to boasting so much footballing talent, the nation has won a record 5 World Cup trophies and has 5 different winners of the FIFA Ballon d'Or. But in recent years, Brazil hasn't been so successful on and off the pitch. Disappointing exits at the last 3 World Cups, no Ballon d'Ors for a Brazilian since 2008, and star player Neymar on the decline has left people asking where the next superstar of Brazilian football is. And right now, all eyes are on one man, Palmiras forward Endrick. At just the age of 17, Endrick is taking the footballing world by storm. While he still plays in his native Brazil, the youngster is set to join Spanish giants Real Madrid in 2024, after they splashed around $40 million to secure his services. When Madrid came knocking, Endrick was just 16 years of age, and hadn't even played a game of senior football yet, which left many wondering why Real Madrid would pay such a huge fee for a teenager unproven at the highest level. But Real Madrid had a perfect reason. In 1956, a then 15-year-old Brazilian by the name of Pele scored a goal in a 7-1-0 for Santos over rivals Corinthians in what was his first professional game. He might have just been a kid in the eyes of many, but to those who had followed his development, it was clear he wasn't an ordinary footballer. Fast forward to the present day, and Pele is widely considered one of the 3 best players to ever play the game of football. And in Brazil, Endrick is considered the heir to Pele's illustrious throne. So maybe Madrid aren't crazy to spend so much on a player likened to the great Pele. Despite already investing a lot in Brazilian talents like Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, Madrid's deal to sign a 16-year-old Endrick shows an unprecedented level of belief in a youngster from one of Europe's top clubs. But despite the hype, Endrick has always remained grounded and dedicated to his craft from a young age, with his parents supporting him strongly all the way. According to his mother Cynthia, she always taught him to remain humble, while his father Douglas focused on making him a better footballer. Douglas played a vital role in Endrick's path to Palmiras. While he battled unemployment when Endrick was just a kid, he spent much of his spare time helping his son improve his skills. He went to all of Endrick's games and often captured his goals and uploaded them to YouTube. Eventually, the kid caught the attention of 2 of Brazil's biggest clubs, Sao Paulo and Corinthians. But as fate would have it, he and his family chose to sign for Palmiras instead, after they emphasized their belief in Endrick's talents. At the age of just 11, Endrick had signed for his first professional club, and the wheels of his youth career were set in motion. In 2016, Endrick began training with the Palmiras youth team and immediately impressed his coaches. From his first few training sessions, it was clear Endrick wasn't a normal talent. He was so impressive that Palmiras decided to offer his father, Douglas, a job working as a janitor. By embracing not just him but also his family, there was an instant bond between Endrick and Palmiras. By the age of 16, Endrick had scored 165 goals in 169 games for the Palmeiras youth teams, numbers rarely seen before in the notorious difficult Brazil youth leagues. Although Endrick had been lighting up the youth tournament since the age of 11, the forward began to catch the eyes of the big European clubs at the Montaigu tournament in France. The tournament, which is contested by under-16 national teams, has seen global stars such as Henry, Ronaldo, Pirlo and Harry Kane all take part. And Endrick is the latest in line to burst onto the scene at this competition. Endrick ended the competition with 5 goals in 4 games on Brazil's way to a gold medal, including a wonder goal against England, which put all of his tenacity, skills and shooting ability on display for the world to see. And he wasn't done impressing at youth level just yet. In 2022, Endrick represented Palmeiras at the Copa São Paulo de Futebol Júnior, a battleground for Brazil's best under-20 talents. And Endrick once again dominates, scoring 8 goals in just 7 games on his way to being crowned the best player of the tournament. His performances put the whole of Europe on high alert. A new wonder kid was here. Endrick was skillful and mature beyond his years. His speed and strength resemble those of a 20-year-old. His former coach, Silas Severino, spoke to the media after the tournament about how good Endrick was, and how older kids would often complain that Endrick was so much better than them. Endrick has often been described as diligent, humble and hard-working in training to improve on his already immense talents. But behind his timid character is a ruthless competitor. On the pitch, very few players can keep up with Endrick's tenacity and speed, and as a result, he enjoyed one of the most successful youth team careers in Brazil history. But still aged 16, it was clear his time in the youth teams had come to an end. He was ready for senior football. There were calls for Endrick to be called up to the Palmiras senior team and even the Brazilian national team, despite his tender age, and the small matter of him playing 0 senior minutes so far in his career. And on the 6th of October 2022, history was made, as Endrick made his debut for the Palmiras first team in a 4-0 victory over Coritiba. This made him the youngest ever player to don the iconic green jersey of Palmiras. Fast forward just a few weeks later, on October 26, 2022, Endrick scored 2 goals off the bench in a 3-1 victory over Atletico, making him the second youngest scorer in Brazilian top-flight history. By the start of 2023, Endrick was a full member of the Palmiras first team, but 2023 was a lot tougher in front of goal for the youngster. It was clear Endrick was taking time to adjust to senior football. After a 3-month goal drought between January and April, some people began to doubt Endrick's abilities to make it in top-flight football. After all, he was just 16, and kids his age are usually still playing academy football. But Endrick wasn't going down without a fight, and was determined to show why Real Madrid had invested so much in him. The second part of the year saw him score more frequently, including an iconic brace against rivals Botafogo. The hype around Endrick was fully back, and the youngster was rewarded with his lifelong dream, a call-up to the Brazil senior team. His performance in the previous weeks convinced head coach Diniz to call him up for the World Cup qualifying games against Colombia and Argentina. This was a huge milestone for his young career, and no doubt a moment of happiness for his family. Although Brazil would lose both games, Endrick would make his first 2 appearances for the Seleção in what will no doubt be the start of a very long career in yellow and blue. Back at Palmeiras, Endrick played the last 4 games of the season, scoring 2 goals and leading Palmeiras to the Brazil Serie A title. Now 17, he became the youngest top scorer for a title-winning team in the competition's history, with 11 goals. Next up, the youngster is set to join up with Real Madrid in June 2024, where he's set to team up with the likes of Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., and maybe even Kylian Mbappe. The stage is set for football's next superstar to take over Europe, and expectations are sky high, not just because of his unrivaled talent, but also because of his hefty price tag. And just like Pele before him, Endrick is set to be the defining player in his era of football. That's it for our video today. Do you think Endrick will live up to his lofty expectations? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time.